Most of the time, people in the caregiver role for those suffering from mental health issues end up sacrificing their own well-being.
Yeah, Channel 5's Gabriela Garza spent a day with one woman who works to educate the public on mental health issues, educate children, and care for her son.
Tonight, we take a closer look into the daily life of Stephanie Contreras as she does daily tasks, and we meet the driving force behind all of her advocacy work.
That's your total.
Family is everything to Stephanie Contreras. Contreras spends the majority of her days nurturing others.
Without fail, somebody will be in a crisis, and so I don't dare not answer the phone.
In one day, she is 4 different people: teacher, advocate, choir director, caregiver.
My normal day runs, I teach. I have a half an hour lunch from 10:30 till 11, and I'll answer voice messages and text during that time while I'm eating. I'll eat with one hand and I'll text with the other, as many of us do, and try to keep everything on an even keel. And the minute school's out, then I go back to the phone and start answering calls and answering texts. Really need that.
Most importantly, she's a mother. She is the sole caregiver of her 36-year-old son, Ralph. A day like today is an uncommon thing for this pair. Today, Contreras took time off work to take Ralph to his first day on the job. He's volunteering at Habitat for Humanity, designing a home.
I think it's a good chance for me to help people and stuff, and maybe get some experience or something.
This is the first time Ralph gets to use his degree.
I like that it requires attention to detail.
Ralph is diagnosed with schizocytosis. He is the reason behind all Contreras' advocacy work with the National Alliance on Mental Illness.
When my son just turned 16, he had his first complete psychotic episode, and he couldn't talk plainly, had the rapid pressured speech, and at that point, the officers came into the waiting room and called his name, told him to stand up, and put him in handcuffs and started walking him out the door. And I was trying to walk with him, saying, what's going on? Where are we going? What's happening? Where are you taking him? And he was so distraught. He said, I didn't do anything wrong, Mom. Please, please, please tell him I didn't do anything wrong. You know I didn't. Mom, if I did something wrong, I'm so sorry. They don't understand me. Please tell them I'm sorry. Why are they arresting me? Why are they? And at that point, as soon as I got into my car after that incident, I thought, I want to help anybody I can.
We continue to follow this duo as they complete simple daily tasks, though time is rare.
Last night, Ralph told me that he had missed an appointment, a very important appointment with the diabetes clinic, because he didn't have a ride. Well, he forgot to mention it to me. His particular disorder is a thought disorder. So being disorganized in his thoughts is part of his illness. It's a symptom of his illness. So I can't always count on him reminding me of things. We're doing a conference call.
Contreras is constantly multitasking, from conference calls to meetings, even checking on others. She tells us sometimes Ralph can feel the pull.
I try to be attentive to him and be sure that he doesn't get squeezed out by all the phone calls and the text. But it is my lifeline to helping other people.
Anytime Contreras has to take a half day off of work, she has to pay for it. Contreras says she's not the only one having to make these sacrifices. Families are constantly quitting their jobs to care for their family. Family caregivers can experience loss in wages and other work benefits due to changes in their work patterns.
It makes it very difficult, and I have a lot of family members that give up and they quit work or they get fired because they've missed so much.
The out-of-pocket expense for caregivers are nearly $7,000, according to the Family Caregiving and Out-of-Pocket Costs report by AARP. Contreras says some days it becomes too much for her.
There are many times that I want to crawl into the bed and put the cover over my head and say, world, go away, lock the door, turn the phone off, and say, I need to quit, I need to quit. Just give me a couple of hours.
Many caregivers have a significant amount of physical and psychological health effects, higher levels of anxiety, and an inadequate time for sleep or self-care, according to American Psychological Association.
So it makes life pretty full.
Through it all, Contreras tells us she's put here for a greater purpose, to help those who need a voice. In Wasaco, Gabriela Garza, Channel 5 News at 10.